Okay, I'm back. All right. Okay, good morning, everybody. Super exciting this morning. We are going to have Carmen Sandoval and doing our presentation. She's in California. Carmen, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, perfect. Okay, let's start it.
Okay, great.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. Happy Friday. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. No, not yet? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, good morning. So, my name's Carmen, and thank you, George, for the introduction. I've placed over 5,000 people. I call them recruiting missions over the last 25 plus years. And so, I'm going to give you just a couple of quick recruiting 101 tips. Is that good with you?
Perfect.
Okay, great. So if you would like, either in the chat or you can go to slido.com and type in the number 8298356. If you can think about the best recruiting event you've ever attended, or you can just say it out loud, whatever you'd like. George, what's the best recruiting event you've ever attended?
When you say recruiting an event like training or
It could be a training, it could be a self-develop. I knew you do a lot of self-development, or it could be an event where you wanted to educate people or attract people to your team. Could be
yeah,
anything.
yeah, well, the first one, probably the one that gets my attention the most is the first one that I went to Bob Proctor. Bob Proctor. I've
Oh,
seen
Bob
many
Proctor.
trainings, but that was the first one that got my attention. That was when I was just starting out, and
Okay.
that's the one that I will always remember.
Okay. So it resonated with you.
Correct.
Okay. How did you get invited to that event?
I was not invited. I saw a commercial,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
an infomercial about that, and I went there, and that's the way that I found out about the event. But it was a big change because it was the beginning of everything for me. Eventually, I was personal coaching with Bob Proctor,
Okay.
but that was an amazing event. That was the beginning.
Oh, wow. So you got personally coached by him.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Any events that stick out in your mind or fun things that you've done recruiting wise? Okay. Well, these are some of the things that since I've been working with three the last 2 plus years that I've heard about. People doing one-on-one coffees, or like Samson will have a bunch of people together at like a Panera, or in a living room, someone might host an event. But yeah, the reason that I bring these up is why do you think these events stand out to you? Why do you think that it makes a difference for you?
They're face to face.
Yes, face to face. There's a personal touch, right? George, when you went to go see Bob Proctor, what were you looking for when you went to go see him?
It was personal development because he was talking about how he used a phrase that's very famous, how to make your yearly income into the monthly income. And of
Ooh,
course, I was curious because at the time my yearly income was not the best, but I say if I make it into a monthly, then we'll be okay.
wow.
And that was the main attraction when I went there the first time.
So something resonated with you where you're like, I think there's some wisdom there.
Correct.
It could be interesting. Anybody else? So face to face, getting wisdom. So one of the things was just showing up. Any of those events that we've listed, people just show up and it's a mindset, right? When you're recruiting, it's kind of a way of life. And so the cool thing about the opportunity to be on the three international recruiting kind of side is that anytime you meet someone, you're going to have some interesting questions to ask and interesting things to share. So the concept is being present and engaged and proactive. So the times where the market was slow or the market was hot, where it was hard to recruit people, the mindset of just showing up for a breakthrough really matters. So George, when you showed up for Bob Proctor, you were expecting a breakthrough, right?
Correct.
You're expecting it.
Correct.
Good.
I agree.
And Mei Ling, when you're one-on-one in person with people, because you have wisdom, you're expecting to be a connection, there to be a connection, right?
Absolutely.
Great. So one example on the far left-hand side, and these are just suggestions, but things that I've found that are helpful, is getting a recruiting mentor. So my very first recruiting mentor, his name is Art. It's kind of like the art of recruiting. And he basically just built a relationship with me over 6 months and recruited me to his team. And we became the #1 team in the nation because there was a lot of trust and fun. So if you don't yet have a recruiting mentor, I will say that I've learned a lot from George and Adrian, from Antoinette and her team, from Christine, of course, and Kimberly Starr. There's so many great people that I'm continuing to learn from. Jasmine, Sky. There's so many great people. And you Mei Ling, it's been really fun to learn. And the thing that I've learned that is very in common with all of those people is they have a whiff it mindset, which is what's in it for them. So when I'm speaking to someone like George or Mei Ling or Jasmine or Lovey or anybody like that, Nilbert, I feel like they care about me. So would you agree that if you're going to show up somewhere for wisdom, you want to know that people are, they care about you, right? And Frank, you're right. There are strength in numbers for sure. So some of the techniques that have been effective in the network marketing industry have been inviting a friendly or someone that's warm to you. Doesn't have to be a family member. It could be a friend or an acquaintance for their opinion. So for example, with kinetic, and it's so much energy, a lot of people talk about, boy, I'm low on energy. Wow, I know I've been low on energy too. Would you be open to giving me your opinion on a new release? It's called Kinetic. And in fact, I've worn my hat, my Kinetic hat and my shirt to the gym, and people have asked me, what is that? So a friendly encounter could lead to a positive opinion, and then you go from there. Have any of you invited more than one person to an event? Yes, I would think 100%
Yeah.
Lovey, yes. And what's cool about that is sometimes people don't want to go to events alone. For those of you who are in Utah for the 80s party, was it fun to attend the event with our friends and not go alone and talk about what are you going to wear? I don't know what I'm going to wear. Am I going to put hairspray in my hair? Things like that. But people like to go to events with friends. And I know if Sky's on this call, she's a deep aqua instructor, and her ladies, which I'll talk about in a moment, like to be together. It's community. Personalized appointment setting, what does that mean? So I feel special attention when somebody says, great, I look forward to seeing you or speaking with you tomorrow at 4 p.m. And if I get another follow-up message that says tomorrow, like around 8 in the morning, can't wait to catch up with you at 4, that makes me feel warm. And it's a personal touch. And then as we're out and about, how many of you guys have digital or actual business cards? Anybody else? Yes, definitely. I have both. And I will, Mia, you have, okay, good. I will share with you that in the back office for 3, I do like their business cards. They're not very expensive and they come in a big box. So I just keep some in my pocketbook with me or in my backpack. And when I'm networking with people, it has my name, my email, and my phone number, and then a QR code that I got to choose where that lands. And for me, it lands on my 3 International page. So applying that being present in your networking, this comes from knowing your identity. Now, when we talk about kinetic energy or we talk about big energy, like with Aaron King, we're actually talking about our own identity and what motivates us. And a lot of times we can feel like we're pushing hard with recruiting or we're selling too much, and that's not the point of recruiting at all. What do you guys think the point of recruiting is, besides building your team or building out your business? What do you think that means, recruiting? Kelly, I'm glad you love your digital business cards. That's awesome.
I think it means you're giving them an opportunity to empower themselves with something amazing, with a clean line of products.
That's awesome, Michelle. Yes, for sure. It's an opportunity, right? And for you to give them the opportunity, they have to trust you, right? So it's back to the what's in it for them, right? So sometimes when I'm recruiting, if I feel like somebody's not ready or they don't have enough information, I'll take down the barrier of fear and say, you know what, it would be great to set up an exploratory chat with Renee or with George or Adrian or Antoinette. And a lot of times what will happen is that releases me from the burden of feeling like I have to know everything. So oftentimes when I'm having lunch with friends or meeting up with them at different events, I don't know everything. And so I don't pretend to know everything. So I might share something small like, yes, I've been partnering with this great company. I'd love for you to come and see. And if it's somebody who's got a specific question on, let's say, what's going on with Revive, I might say, you know, I would love for you to talk to my friend and a health coach that I met 12 years ago. Would you be open to an exploratory chat? So that's one way. Does anybody else have any other phrases or style of phrasing they might use to invite people to connect? Yes, I love that recruiting is creating a friend in a long-term relationship, Miss BJ, all day. And whoever Three International is, yes, making friends and having fun. Lori, just like the last gal said, the opportunity, what they need. Craig, yes, personal connection, spreading health. Yes, all good. Connection, perfect. But in that situation, when you start talking to people, and again, recruiting is more natural in terms of a conversation, but there's one thing that will help you as you continue to get to know people. Do any of you know how many touches it takes for someone to make a decision, either to make a purchase or to take a next step? Do you know how many touches it is? 5. Good. 5. Yes. 6. 5 to 7. That's right. I usually say 7 because I'm a little bit more on the slower roll, but yeah, 5 to 7 times. So what helps is if you understand what their career wound is. And so what a career wound is, let's say I'm talking to you, George, and I say, George, what do you love about Three International? What would you share with me?
I like the vision of the company.
Yes, the vision. If Three International could change one thing, what would you like them to change?
More than change to improve what we already have.
Improve upon what we already have.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I ask those two questions, one, what do you enjoy about your current company? Or two, what do you think your current company could improve upon? I'm starting to uncover, it's called the art of pedagogy. You're trying to uncover a career wound. Now, it could also be a motivating factor. So for George, something that motivates him is R&D or research, right? So I can tell that because he likes research, in the near future, either in that current conversation or in the future, I can start talking about my company and what we like to do for research. Now, I'm not trying to recruit him out of three, but if were working for another nutraceutical or pharmaceutical company, then I'd be able to dig a little bit more. For example, if he worked for a biotech company or pharmaceutical company, I would say, great. So you like research and development. What research and development is most meaningful to you? And so you would continue to ask and layer questions. So the
Right.
career wound question is really getting to know what's motivating them and what could be changed to improve. And that way I'm thinking as I'm building my team, wow, what information could I give to George that would help him see that we have that and more on my team? So George, I might share with you, I'm glad that you said that because research and development is really important to me too. And improving upon what's there is important too. And actually, our chief science officer, Dan Gubler, I follow him on social media because he talks a lot about molecules and really impactful fruits and vegetables and other molecules, which he loves, and our health and how our bodies can absorb these things. What do you think about that? And so the kind of questions that we're opening up are motivating factors or career wounds or things that are open-ended. Now, if you've got that concept of being present and engaged, and then you're building that trust and applying it, what are some of the benefits for people that, for example, are looking for wisdom or looking for like-minded people? The answer's on the screen underneath benefit. So let's see what we've got in the chat. Oh, good. So Kelly, you had mentioned prices, which is true. Lori, you'd like to offer them a car? A car? or samples. And then back, Jeanine, you mentioned that hearing something 6 times or sending a message. Yes, that's true. Thank you, Kelly. And you get friends also. Good, good. So the benefits are people like wisdom, and eventually they like talking about themselves and their experiences and interests. And the good news is with network marketing, especially at 3, you get to decide how you want to connect with people, either in person or Zoom or having other people present knowledge and wisdom. And of course, you've heard the next event is the best event. In recruiting, I've found that my most successful teams where I've managed 8 to 30 people at any given time, our events are very impactful, even in an age of AI. And I bring this up because at the last business event that I went to, we were talking about how people really want to connect in person or just in general. So, okay, any questions before I move on? Cars recognition, sample packs that we can offer customers to help them buy. These are really good ways to engage. And Kelly Ann, you have a cafe owner friend and she's sampling Kinetic. Hello, that is so cool. And she might sell in her cafe. Okay, now I'm getting really excited. I can't wait to hear the results. All right. So we've talked about showing up. We've talked about asking a few open-ended questions. We've talked about the benefits of connecting and building trust. So what does it mean to say yes? Oftentimes in recruiting, I will hit a wall where I'm like, I just can't one more call. I just talked to one more person. I mean, it's a form of no, and it's a form of negative self-talk. So what can I do to get to yes as a catalyst? Well, I show up to George and Adrian's meetings, to Christine's meetings, to Renee's meetings. I learn from Lori Nilbert. I try to get around people who are in the process of saying yes. So as I do that, I'm more open to embracing new opportunities as a concept. And if I feel stale, I think about setting a recruiting goal. So right when I went to this last event with 3 in Utah, I recognized looking in my back office, I'm only 20% away from being a 4-star. Now it's a big step for where I am today. Like there's a lot that needs to happen, but framing it in my mind, like I would like to be 4-star so I can go on the cruise, or I would like to recruit, help build my next 3-star this month and next month, even smaller steps, taking smaller steps and setting a goal, something that's less overwhelming if I think that 20% to 4-star is too much. So I really like Adrian and George's Legacy Makers 5-point recruiting process, and that'll be the next slide. And I have the link there too, if you don't already have the link bookmarked. But reserving time for partner chats. So I might say on my calendar, I am traveling this week, but this week I might say, you know what, from 8 to 10 in the morning, I'm going to just reach out to a few people to say hello. And I'm going to get my, one of my friends or my teammates ready or my upline ready to be on a partner call with me. I'm going to check their schedule just to set that expectation that I'm going to have 2 to 3 kind of group chats with people this week. And of course, if you get stuck and you're saying yes, there are things you can ask AI for prompt engineering, which we won't have time today, but I'm happy to go through later. Secondly, application. So I've opened my mind up to yes, I'm setting a few goals, and now I'm thinking about, do I want to host or do I want to invite to somebody's event? So the Wednesday Wellness Exchange is amazing. I love inviting people to listen because there's so much wisdom there and so much real testimony. Sky recently hosted a Girl Wash Your Face event where she showcased the Visage line and she posted pictures on social media. And I thought, man, that is cool. I would love to have Sky do that, or I would like to learn from her how to do it. Kinetic energy at the gym. Just like Kellyanne was saying, her friend at a cafe is willing to show or try or possibly showcase kinetic. Oh my gosh, a kinetic sampling party is amazing. So what we did 2 weeks ago is at this new gym that I belong to, because I belong to like 4 gyms. I'm a total joiner. I asked the manager if I could have a kinetic table, and he said yes. I'm like, cool. Then the night before, well, what had happened was Renee was in town and she's like, do you want to do an event tomorrow night? And I was a little busy and I'm like, I don't know. Let me think about it. So I I actually connected with the manager and he said yes. So she immediately came over the next night. We had lots of foot traffic because he wanted us there between 5 and 7 p.m. I had a pitcher of cold water and gloves and kinetic, and Renee brought the plastic sample cups and we just sampled it. Some people are like, oh, I can't do that because of this, or oh, this tastes really good, or oh, I'd really like to stop using caffeinated drinks that are synthetic. So we got quite a few leads from that. And last week I was in the gym and he said, hey, I want you back this week to do the same thing. I was like, whoa. And my husband's like, how did that even happen? I said, they were open to yes. Zooms that are currently set up. Again, Adrian and George have a great calendar set up, and you can see all of the links and all the Zooms that are happening. I know that there's an international Zoom on Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, etc. So just opening your mind and saying, yes, I'm going to invite one person to an in-person event, or I'm going to host an event, or I'm going to jump on someone else's bandwagon for events. I would really love that. So what are the benefits to doing something like that? Like, what are the benefits? And the answer is right underneath the benefit, number 3, if you want the answer. But growth, yeah, kinetic sampling party. Oh, Janine, they sampled at Christmas in July at an equestrian center in Ocala, and it was very successful. That is so cool. So you're going to host, Kellyanne, great, and networking and connecting, great. Okay, so back to the benefits. We need to track our progress, not meaning that somebody's like overlording us or trying to figure out what's going on, but I get confused with all the people that I'm talking to, and I want it to be personal. So I do keep notes on an old school notebook and also on my cell phone. I use the 3 app because there's cool AI for inviting people and for posting. And if you don't know what a CRM is, that's a customer relationship manager kind of tracking system. It's okay. You don't have to know, but that's for people who are looking for things like rapid funnel or like Salesforce derivatives, etc. But even sometimes I'll put notes in my Google Calendar for when I'm following up with someone. So let's say I talk to you, George, right now, and I know that we're going to follow up tomorrow at 4. Whatever notes I've taken today, I will put in my calendar at 3:45 tomorrow, just to refresh my memory about what was exciting to you and what we talked about. And if you're signing up, etc. And of course, you're welcome to do like a Google Sheet or Excel spreadsheet. I mean, those are all really good tools. Let's see. Yep, Kellyanne, love the back office. And it tells you when someone saw your international website. I know, that's so cool, right? If I'd had these tools even 25 years ago when I started recruiting, I would have had 10,000 placements, I think. Who knows? Okay, this is a screenshot of George and Adrian's 5-point recruiting system. It's on their Legacy Maker site. And the reason I love it is because it's so clean and so simple, and it's not as overwhelming as all the recruiting steps that I normally think about. George, any comments about the process or the system? Thanks, Black Crow. I love that you're hosting a non-alcoholic. Oh, not seeing my slides. My apologies. Hold on just a second.
Yes, we can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah, the 5 steps. Yeah.
Okay, hold on just a second. Because my screen sharing is paused. There we go. Okay. Anybody else comments about the legacy makers? Nope. Okay. Moving on. Let me see. Oops, sorry. Let me go ahead and reshare.
Sorry, but I was frozen. I couldn't talk.
Okay. You're back. You're back.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard your question and I couldn't answer. Yeah, one of the very important about the 5-point recruiting system is a process, and it's a process that we do in every business, because in every business we have a list, and every business we learn how to connect with people. In every business we know how to present the opportunity depending on what kind of business you have. It could be a restaurant, you know how to present your restaurant. The next one is the follow-up, because you are following up in traditional business with advertisement, with calls, etc. And the last one is the onboarding, and that's when you are bringing new people to work with you. And this is a process that is simple. And by following this process, you can be very successful. I learned many, many years ago from the first person that I met that was making six-figure per month.
Yeah.
And we are talking 1992, I think. That's when I met this guy.
I want to ask you, George and Christine, if available, how much money do you think you've invested in your own personal development? Just in
Oh,
general.
it's thousands, probably
Hundreds of thousands, maybe.
around 100, yeah, over 100,000, yeah, because yeah, just my first seminar, Bob Proctor, well, that was about $2,000, but that was in 1992.
Yeah.
That multiplied today. But yeah, because we had to invest in our education. And if we don't invest in education, well, imagine.
Right.
But anyway, somebody is in the back.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
but
muted them.
yeah, but it's thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And many people say, "Whoa, that's a lot of money." First of all, I didn't do it at once, did
Right.
$100,000 or $200,000, but that had produced millions of dollars. It's a good
Right.
investment.
Right. Right. And the reason that I bring that up is that we get to benefit from your learning. So your investment in that much resource and that much money has led to this 5-point recruiting system.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to pay for that, and you're sharing it generously. Same with Christine Black Crow. Like, I believe that because she's so good at, developing people, that she also has, invested thousands of dollars, right, in the process. So, anyways, something that I thought I'd bring up. All right, let me.
Yeah, something that there are many trainings that cost thousands of dollars, and the information that you find is in our legacy makers. And the
Yeah.
knowledge that we have here, you were talking about Christine, many of the leaders, and even yourself, is worth. It doesn't have a price.
Right. I mean, this is something I talk about with people when I'm recruiting them because they're in their jobs, maybe working 60 to 80 hours a week or multiple jobs. They don't have time for their companies necessarily to invest in them, but recruiting here is different. We're actually investing in one another, and that's what sets us apart as a recruiting team. It's very different. Okay. So, you guys remember Aaron King, and I apologize, I'm almost at time. The world responds to more to your energy than your effort. So coming from that place of rest, relax so you can receive. So don't forget you have big energy and you also have gifts that are unique to you. So you don't have to be a recruiter like me or George or Christine, but if there's things that you like that resonate with you, pick it up and use it in your toolbox. But you have your own identity. And so if you'd like to take the exam, because you didn't take it when you saw Aaron King or you weren't there, if you go to the Pro Recruiters and go to resources, I have bookmarked it for you there. And then there's a gal that I know, her name's Liz. She's the CEO of the MDNA company. It's Motivational DNA. It's a free assessment for you to know what drives you. And that's also there if you'd like to see it. So you showing up, you saying yes actually creates resilience. So when we hit that wall and we're like, oh my gosh, I just can't make one more call or I can't do one more recruiting event. You get around positive people, you figure out what motivates you. That's your resilience, and your identity sets you apart as a top recruiter. So the impact is you're actually reshaping your mindset and your business and the rippling effects through your relationships and your personal life whenever you're feeling uncomfortable or you're experiencing a no. I get told no probably 3 or more times a day, and I'm okay with it. I mean, it hurts my feelings sometimes, depending on how much I care about the person, but it actually just makes me go, okay, what could I do differently? Or maybe now's not their time. This is about timing. And if I find that I'm pushing too hard, then I'm trying too hard and it's more my effort. And that doesn't look good on me. It doesn't make me feel good. But if I come from a place where I'm relaxed and I'm prepared with my business cards, or like people are chatting, I love the chat that's going on about taking your kinetic spike juice to Bible talk. They're going to be up all night. Maybe you want them to pray all night. I don't know. Calendly for scheduling, acknowledging again the our Legacy Makers website. All these things are amazing. And joining gyms. Oh, Blooming in Wellness, Kellyanne, I love your flyer. And I will share the slides for sure. In fact, I will definitely put the link for you guys to see it. But the net is you have the choice, right? You have the choice to make it so, and you can move from discomfort and no to back to recruiting 101. So that's all I got for you pretty much. This is just kind of a overview of what we've been discussing. And you can discover new opportunities with people when you least expect. So thank you again. And yeah, thank you. You're welcome. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And I do have the link. If you guys want to hit me up, I'll send you the link. Or if you just hold on for a second, what I'll do is I'll grab the link right now and put it in the chat. And then for your friends that had to leave, you can share it with them. So let me get the link for you. Hold on. Come on, share. Well, not letting me share it here. I will send you the link. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. Anything else I can help you with? I love all the comments coming through. Cool. All right.
Hey,
Well,
Carmen.
yeah.
Hey, can you share those links maybe on the Legacy Makers Facebook page or something?
Oh, good call. Yes, I will
Easier.
do that. I think I have to log into my account to be able to share it. That's why I'm not able to share it. But yeah, that's a good call. I will share it there for sure.
I have
Okay.
a question,
Yes.
just real quick. How can you make yeses more often? How can you get people to say yes more often than 5 no's or 6 no's and then a yes?
Okay, so you're wanting a hack, right? To how to get faster. So then you would create not a false sense of urgency, but let's say we have a special going on, like with shipping or something like that. You could say, hey, or you know what I've done in the past to help me rank up is I've gone to people that are ready to order and I'll say, you know what, if you order tonight instead of next week, I'll throw in like a free bottle of Revive or whatever. So there's things that you can do to, again, what's in it for them to create urgency, not a false sense of urgency, but hey, I'm trying to win this contest, and I'd love it if you could attend my Zoom on Wednesday, the Wellness Wednesday. Dr. Dan Gubler is going to be speaking. It would really help me.
That's
Yeah.
Thank
cool.
you.
It's
Thank you,
like
Carmen.
incentive, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I learned that from Kimberly Starr. So again, I'm learning from anybody because I know that you guys have more experience than I do in network marketing, and it's a different type of recruiting. So I'm open to learning all kinds of ideas, but creating a real sense of urgency. I was trying to win a contest, and I am trying to win a cruise right now. My daughter's on my team, and she's not very active, but I told her, and I know she wants to go on a cruise. I'm like, I would love to take you on that cruise. This is what we need to do to get there. But I
Right.
only have until this deadline, right, to do it.
By the way, one of the best way to guarantee more yes is to have more no's.
Yes.
Because that's a fact. I mean,
God, well,
especially at the
I'm
beginning.
bountiful with those. Thank you, George.
Yeah, especially at the beginning. And you heard the story of Mark Jewell. Jeff, his upline told him, get 300 no's and come back to me. And
Bold.
he
That's
did
bold.
that, but he had to do it in a short period of time. I think he gave him 90 days to get 300 no's. By the end of 90 days, he was hitting 10,000 a month, and before he got his 300 no's.
Oh, wow.
Because that's but we cannot do it in 5 years. We have to do it in a short time.
Yeah.
5 years, nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we have to do it in a very, very short time. And that's the way that we learn the best, because everything that you are hearing here, you can apply it right away, but it still is not part of your personality. It's
Yeah.
gonna take a while when your percents start increasing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really true. And that's that resilience again, right? Like, even though you
Correct.
have the no's and the numbers don't show just yet, they will come. And then if you're really thinking that you're having a challenge getting people to yes, work with your sponsor or your upline and just go one-on-one with them and say, hey, I've got my friend, Monina, she signed up, she's active, but she's not available for our meetings. What can I do to motivate her? Because I know she's got a business going on. She's got people that are interested. Like, get advice. Get advice.
And the other thing, how many no's you have with your upline? It's so important. If you have too many no's and your upline is not involved, you are talking too much on yourself on your own.
Oh, that's a good litmus test. That is a great
That
litmus test.
because I have cases, people say I have tons of notes, but I never had one call with that person. How can you learn? The best way to learn is by working together with your upline leader.
Yeah.
And that's why we always see the first time presentation, never do what by yourself. And when you're having to make notes, the best way is to be with your upline, doing those calls to see what you are doing or you are not doing or you are talking too much.
Right.
Even if you are just a fly on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. So, wow. Well, you guys, I had so much fun with you this morning. I hope you have a great day. I hope that for every no you get 5 yeses. I'm speaking 5 yeses over you today. But yeah, I will send that link in our Legacy Makers Facebook group, and I hope you have a great day.
Okay, see ya.